Hello? No, I didn't see the 1320 video Instagram post. What do you mean, read the comments?
Yeah, 1320 video. Yeah, you can find me there. Yeah, find the post. Click on the post. Yeah, see what it's all about. Yeah, we're gonna see what it's all about right now. Put the rotary back where it came from, or so help me. LS, puke, 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 me. Why a LS? Look better black in my opinion, but still a badass build. Still needs a rotary. LOL, they made it ricer as fuck. Not the hard work put into it, but man, if it's not a rotary, nothing else should be put in it. But that shit has an LS though. I would appreciate it more if it didn't have pistons for an engine. LS swaps and JDM cars are so fucking lame. Can we just not anymore, please? Hashtag no more LS swaps.
I'm selling the car! I'm selling everything I own! It doesn't have an LS, it's not a rotary! It's stupid and blue, it looked better before! It's just a Corvette! No, you don't understand, Rye! No, you don't. He has a stock RX-8. It's stock. He knows he's better than me. Listen, you're not going to talk me off the ledge here. I'm selling everything I own. Did you see what he said? Did you see what he drives? He has a 1993 Honda Civic sedan, and his best friend painted a graffiti paint job on it. How can I compete? Here's a message for all you talking shit. Eat my chocolate starfish. My car's blue and it's awesome. Bye. We made it. We made it. We made it. We made it. The RX-7 is back. It's in the garage. And I only have about 4,987 things to do before we can turn that key and fire up our engines. The very first thing that we got to do is get the interior squared up. I'm gonna get it cleaned out, get the carpet in it, cut the carpet out for the cage. I gotta get the dash in it. I haven't cut any of the interior panels for the roll cage yet. I haven't done any of that stuff. It went right from the chassis shop to paint. So I have to refit the entire interior. I have to reinstall the windows, the door handles. I have to button up all the electronics, rewire the entire car from brake lights to headlights and everything in between. So, because we took all the stock Mazda wiring out of the car. The last thing I wanted to deal with was old 1993 wiring giving me a hard time. So we have to wire in a leash box and that precision fab and wiring unterminated harness that I have. We got a bunch of work to do. Whole bunch of work. But the first stop on this adventure is going to be the powder coaters. Chris is a guy that lives in Sonora, I think is the name of the city. I think. Any hoodle. I posted up on Facebook. I like to post and ask, hey, does anyone have a good person for this or for that? Rather than going to any kind of big box chain stores or big box service centers, I like to use independent people that are doing it to feed their families or to pay the bills. That's my thing. So Chris has an operation out of his house. He does it on the side, I believe, and he does a very, very good job from what I saw. His quote for powder coating a bunch of trash of mine was extremely fair, and I am headed that way to pick it up. Plus, you have to drive through like this old-timey Western feeling town, which is sick. I'm a big fan of history, so when you see like an old building and you're like, man, that place would have been popping in 1932, I think it's cool. You got your Dollar General, okay, that's probably not from 1932, but whatever. But look, little farm action, okay. Okay, we're getting close. It's like Back to the Future if the future was the past, and the future's now. And then you turn down Main Street, and you're in a time capsule. Look at it. Oh man, if the Buick would move, it'd really set the ambiance here. There's a car behind me. He's probably upset that I'm going 2 miles an hour, but guess what? I don't care. I'm in like that. That place was popping. Sick. And that's the firehouse. Sick. Look at that. Sick. Anyway, when I saw all that, I was like, oh, I can't go wrong just because it makes me feel so nostalgic when I come here. I would have filmed picking the parts up, but he's got a 2-year-old German Shepherd that has about a 70-pound paw that went straight in my groin. I'm not breathing that good right now, but the parts look great. Tosco's custom powder coating does a hell of a job. Also, he used to apologize to my girlfriend for the evening because I am out of commission. Saw my life flash before my eyes. Scary. This is an anvil paw straight to the twickenberries. If Thor's hammer had fur and claws, I took that straight to the Johnson & Johnson commercial. My groin was the test crash wall, and the dog's paw was a 1986 Buick LeSabre. Right into the... I don't have another analogy for a penis, but oh god. But either way, it's worth it. So worth it. We're back in 1932. I'm just gonna grab a pack of tobacco in the corner store and have me a nice glass bottle of Coca-Cola. The Reverend called the town meeting and we're gonna get together and decide whether to plant daffodils or tulips this week. I wish that in the 30s those were the conversations they were having. Unfortunately, I don't think that's what they were talking about in 1932. Step 1 on the interior revampulation, which is a word that I'm gonna be using, is just a water bottle. That's all you need. You gotta clean up all the old wet sand dust from inside the old car. This is not gonna be fun to watch, so I'm just gonna spray and pray for a little while and I'll check back in about 4 hours. I'll probably be a lot sweatier then. I told you that I would be much sweatier when I turn the camera back on. I got the interior cleaned and I also have a tip trick, a tricky tip. So all that stuff's cleaned out. Now we got to get the carpet ready. And there's a problem with my carpet. It was in my basement for a while. It's the high and low spots are just where it's wet and dry because I shop vacuumed it. But you can see where my cats decided to paw at it like crazy. This tool is for like women's sweatshirts. It's my girlfriend's. And you can use it to de-pimpleize your carpet. So if you have the same deal with these like loops sticking up, you hear it working. You just make a few passes, and after a while, it's like cutting the lawn. It'll all be level. All right, a few things got buttoned up. Carpet's in. I still have to cut it to fit around the cage. I got my APR carbon mirrors on, which was a pain in the ass. Yeah, it's just one of those things where you buy carbon fiber mirrors to flex with your rice boys and they just don't want to go on. But they're on, they're good. We got a couple other things laid out. I went ahead and I mounted my Jolt Systems switch panel up there. Don't mind the strap holding the column up. But I got that mounted on the roll bar next to the parachute handle. And then if you look over here, I wanted to see how the engine bay was gonna look with the black powder coat stuff from Chris. And needless to say, it's gonna be pretty sick. Next up, and something that I'm dreading, is trimming the dash. The dash bar I had blasted and coated. Chris took care of this. It was all rusty and oxidized and it's brand new now. So I gotta bolt that up. But before I bolt the dash bar up, I'm gonna take the dash by itself and I'm gonna trim it out in the corners to fit around Storm and Norman's roll cage, which he hugged super, super tight. So it shouldn't be that big a deal to get that trimmed. I popped these A-pillar interior pieces in, which is kind of a pain in the butt behind the roll bar, but we had to pop them out to get that painted underneath. So we're back in, ready to go, ready to trim a dash. So first cut with a hole saw and then wedge it in there. Take a Sharpie or whatever and then mark out around how far you want the space between that bar and the dash to be. And then I usually take a Dremel. I say usually like I've cut a bunch of dashes out for roll cages. I'm going to take a Dremel, smooth that radius out, and then flow it into the dash line down there so everything looks seamless. All right, so I got the dash finished cut. I got to finish smoothing it, and then I'm going to tape the top and bottom off, and I'm going to paint the foam black so it doesn't look like ugly yellow foam. But that's the final state of the dash for now, and it's not gonna go back in the car, and for good reason. Inside here, you'll see you got a lot of pedals to work with. I gotta get my clutch reservoir and my master done, and I have to get my drive-by cable back together. So I don't want the dash in my way while I do all that stuff. So for this time, the dash stays in purgatory. I made the mistake of putting the dash back in before I did the drive-by wire conversion, and I'm fat and not short. I mean, you're tall and fat, not tall, but I'm above average. I'm not like Cletus tall. That dude's a fucking ape. But I'm 6'2", like 235, all right, 242. 247, all right? Lay off me, I'm starving. But when you're a big dude, getting under a dash is terrible, man. I'd rather get a colonic. So, either way, dash stays out so I can finish plumbing that stuff. And then we have to organize all this stuff, get some trim ready for the doors. We have about $1,200 in new Mazda OEM trim and seals and all that stuff. It all has to go into the car, which is obscene, but hey, when you buy every door seal left in existence, you can charge whatever you want for them. My anxiety is through the roof right now. Just these two drip rails alone was around 600 bucks because you cannot get them stateside anymore. You get a lot of the old stuff all around there, door handles and so what have you. And then in that box right there is a bunch more new seals. I got to try to pretend like I know how to put this stuff together. Okay, one of them is in. Got one seal in. We just have 364 more, and we're good. And side number 2's done with the drip rail. Okay, now the fun stuff. Trying to figure out all the rubber ones and where they go. When you see all the rappers in the rap videos throwing dollar bills, y'all, this is that for rotary guys. This is exactly what that's like. Okay, the outer door seals are done. The inner door frame all the way around seal's done, and the drip rail's done. Now we get the, honestly, I don't even know. It's just so hot. The rain came and it didn't do anything for the humidity. I was just having a rough day. People are being mean on threads and making fun of my car. Hasn't gotten any cooler in the garage. I had to take a little bit of a cry break after that last clip. I also finished the window trim. Let's take a look. So, new outer door seal, old beat up corner. I need to get a new one. These are the original, I don't even know what you want to call this. I guess seal, you know what I mean. And then on the inside, new inner door seals all the way around, and then the drip rail and the interior door seal all the way around. So both sides are completely done like that, which makes it look way more complete. I still have to put the window tracks back in the doors. That's for another day though. I'm a little gassed. Been out here since about 8:39 in the morning. It's about 6 p.m. But carbon fiber mirrors, sick. Carpet, sick. Catch can, even though it's just for looks right now. But we did get a bunch done. The window trim stuff was way more intensive than I thought it was going to be. It did take quite a bit longer than I anticipated, but well worth it. We're ready to go. Only about 573,000 more hours of work, and we'll get there. Tune in next time on Logan Reed's negative car reviews from 1320 Video Instagram threads. Mom! No! I'm in the middle of commenting on this thread! This idiot took the rotary out of his RX-7!